Hey Virgo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength at all on this storyline, check your other major placements. Starting off with the Oracle deck for an intuitive vibe of where we're headed today. And then we'll move on to a more traditional tarot spread. All right. Not a lot popping out here. We've got these guys on sideways, so take those. Seriously, this is the week of doubles, of repeated messages. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got stagnancy, waiting, watching, listening, maybe even some psychic communication, possibility of opening up eventually. So we have home in the sky. This is stagnant energy. It can be a little bit toxic. It means things just aren't moving. There's no movement. You'd have to have a lot of volition to move forward. This could be a comfort zone that you've gotten used to, that you've gotten... I'm seeing a little agoraphobia here, right? You've been home for a long time, or you've been in this comfort zone, in this situation for a long time, and you don't want to leave. It can be a little toxic. You're kind of waiting for something else to happen, for something to kind of push you out. To push you out of your home, to push you out of your comfort zone. You would really like that, because that would mean you wouldn't have to even leave your internal comfort zone, right? If something just pushed you out of your comfort zone, you wouldn't have to leave this one. You wouldn't have to make action. The action would be coming at you. You could then react to that, and you wouldn't have to make any decisions or move yourself. So you could be talking, but you're not. You could be moving, but you're not. You're waiting on something to happen, something outside of your control to happen. In the meantime, there's a little bit of stagnancy and toxicity. We don't have fresh air. We don't have fresh ideas. We have something that we've just been sort of sitting in for a while, and nothing's moving and nothing's going, and you might be starting to feel a little resentful, something feels a little toxic here, which definitely happens when we're waiting for something to come in, and when we're waiting for something, or when we've been in the same situation for a while, and we're looking for the change to come. We're looking out to see if it's coming yet, or what's happening. All these birds are looking out of their homes, trying to figure out what's going on. The funny thing is they all have their own ability to fly, but they're all relying on something else, waiting on something else, and they're all very comfortable here. So something's not completed yet, something's ungrounded, something's not done yet. Middle of something got paused. There maybe was a lot of momentum, and it stopped now. There's no momentum now, and we're just hanging out here, and we might be getting a little frustrated, a little bitter about it, or a little overly familiar with our own stale energy, our own stale situation. So waiting for, at its core, it's waiting for movement, no movement, just stagnation. And so there can be some toxicity with that, some expectation. I think that there's expectation of movement. When does the wind change? When does something outside of your control come through here and wake the whole situation up? Then we have listen. So this is supporting some of the stagnant energy, but this gives it a little healthier spin. We're listening, we're paying attention. This is a burial for the purpose of resurrection. So in both of these, I see a burial, or a stagnancy, a stasis here. You're waiting on it here. You're wanting it, and you know that when the movement happens, when the movement comes, it's going to clear the energy and clear the air. You're waiting for the air to be cleared here. And here, you're really, you're silent, you're listening to what's not being said. To what's being said, to what's not being said. You're listening to the foundations. What's underneath all of this? What's behind this picture? What's behind? Here we have blue sky, but you're not in it. You're in this dirt. And there is a sense of burial for resurrection. There is, in both of these, some sort of expectation, some sort of promise, and maybe it's taking a very long time for you to come to life, for things to come to life, for things to get cleared. But right now you're absorbing energy, I see, you know, both of these have these roots, leaf or root systems coming out of the mind. They can be like psychic communication, connection, deep connection, energy connection here. And here it's a very grounded energy. So I think it's counteracting this idea over here that things may be up in the air, things may be stagnant, but you're not fully ungrounded in this process. So this can be meditative spaces. This can just be deep listening to other people, grounding through listening. But there is a sense of sort of grounding, of waiting for the moment, of waiting to come forward, of waiting for movement here, waiting for resurrection, waiting for something fresh. So there's a lot of waiting here, and there's no talking. There's no talking. So somebody's gone silent, some situation has gone silent, sort of dead. The plug's been temporarily pulled, possibly. And again, with the resurrection, some sort of situation is dead, is buried, is in the ground. It is, the expectation is that it will be resurrecting. That's the expectation. That's why we went into the ground willingly, is thinking that this was going to come back at some point. So there is a sense of absorbing and paying attention, gathering your own intuition about you, gathering your own strength, and wanting to come to life, but it's not time yet. There is some sort of divine timing here in both of these, right? Just the concept of resurrection has some sort of divine timing inherent in it. And the fact that the wind has to come through. The wind, what could possibly signify, you know, divine timing more than wind, more than the movement of air, something as sort of mysterious and unseen force as air coming in to bring what's lying dormant for so long back to life. But we're not there yet, but we are getting there. We have bloom. So this may be something that's been dormant, something that's been hidden away, coming to life. This also has a strong sense to me of listening. It's very similar to this card, both in the connections to others and the connections to the world around us that are not so physical, not so mobile, but are sort of subterranean or energetic connections. And then the symmetry here is really beautiful too with both of these. But this one, the eyes are open. This one, the eyes are closed, awaiting, resting, awaiting resurrection. This one, the eyes are open. Something's been seen, something's been heard, and something's been awakened. And we can imagine the bloom. We can imagine what it would be like to be within a flower as it's blooming, you know, the bud held tight and then opening and the light coming in, and this opening up to this larger world, to this larger story, to this larger situation. So we have like a closed, both of them have an energetic connection to the world around them, and then we have this closed down process here where we're very internal, and then we have this opening up process where the energy, it feels like it's radiating from you. There's a listening and a talking. There's an absorbing energy, a deep absorbing energy, and then there's an expressive, radiant energy that comes in. So I feel like bloom coming after these two stagnants, that we're looking at a possibility here for something to be opening up. The eyes, the ability to see something. We're looking at the air coming through. We're looking at the resurrection. We're looking at something that could be coming to life soon, that's had a period of dormancy. All right, Virgo, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, to-do list, and possible outcome. Okay, we did not get Nine of Wands. Everybody else got Nine of Wands except you guys, but we'll probably get Nine of Wands in the whole storyline, not the... Anyway, that guy's been showing up a lot. We do have a lot of wands here, so we're talking about life force, energy, and again with listen and bloom, we're talking about energy and that energetic expression, the life force. Tapping into that psychic grid or that life force grid. And then we have, in your recent past, Three of Coins, teamwork. This could be quite a work focus. This could be working with other people, either for work or for some kind of project usually. I see a limited time situation where we're working together with other people to achieve something. We're yeah, working together to achieve something, to make something happen in reality. And so it's been maybe physical work. Different people have had their specialties. You might have an accountant, a lawyer, and a contractor all working together on something. You know, you might have just different people with specialized skills here. Not everyone's doing the same job. So it's not a team as in like like a rowing team where we're all kind of doing the same thing. I'm thinking of a Viking ship. Or it's not that. It's different specialties. A lot of different diverse people coming together with different skill sets to work together and build something together. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I think you got these two on the last one too, possibly, maybe, if I remember right. Then we have Three of Cups. So in your recent past, there's been a work focus, maybe friends from work or some sort of project focus. So there was a project in your recent past that you worked with a bunch of people. This may have morphed into some friendships, some relationships, some parties, getting together with some people, enjoying the company of friends, sharing joys and concerns, and just generally having a good time with people that you trust and are close to you. There may have been some music. It's friendship. So this work situation may have developed into a friendship, may have developed into something more delightful and more emotional or spiritual, and not quite so, you know, just nose to the grindstone, work, work, work. Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, the Hermit. You might be thinking about your own unique path. So you just taking this as an inner landscape card, what could be more appropriate than the Hermit? Also, the Hermit does represent Virgo in these cards. So there you are in your inner landscape. I think you're thinking about your path and your light. You have a little lantern. This is kind of funny. I went camping and I did a little spread before I went camping and I got the Hermit. And then sure enough, it was nighttime and I was walking to the bathroom with my little lantern. It looked almost identical to this one. And I thought, wow, that was a little more accurate than I thought, that reading. Not a metaphor. That was not a metaphor. It turned out to be literal. And there were bunnies and there were like deer on the path. It was kind of funny. This literally was enacted by me, including the gray hair, not the beard though. So in our inner landscape, we're thinking about, the Hermit's about time alone, taking time alone, time to yourself. You might be wanting some time alone, a break from something, some time to sort of get back on your path. You may have spent a lot of time with people, enjoying people, and you may be wanting to get sort of reset, sort of the Roomba going back to its charging station by itself. It's been out here doing lots of things over here, and now maybe it's coming back to its charging station to charge itself. So recharging with some alone time, you may be wanting that. You could also be worried about being single, being alone. That could be a concern that you have, a fear that you have of going out. Like what it would happen if you went out by yourself and just followed your own unique path. That could be a little terrifying if that's not something you're used to doing, if that's outside your comfort zone. So that could be a little terrifying here, outside your comfort zone. And so your hopes, your fears. So some of you might be hoping to get some time away to sort of reboot, recharge, get back in touch with your own path, with your own intuition. And this lantern guides not in grand vistas. This lantern guides a few steps at a time, right? When I set off to the woods to find the bathroom, I could not see the bathroom with my little lantern, but I could see a couple steps ahead, which was adequate. I knew kind of the direction I needed to go, and I could see a couple steps ahead so that I could be aware of tripping hazards and whatever else was on the path. So that's our Hermit. It's not, the Hermit doesn't denote having a grand vision. It denotes trying to figure out your next steps and trying to just see maybe one, maybe two steps ahead. So you could be hopeful that you're trying to see a couple steps ahead. And there's something about being alone. You could be worried about being alone or hopeful, especially if you've been partying. Well, if you've been hanging out with people both at work and in your personal life, there could be like a fear of being alone. And alone with your own thoughts, because where is this light? What's this light going to shine on if you're finally alone with it and you're just paying attention to your own light? If you leave the party, right, and you head back to your own tent here in the campsite and you leave the party and the bonfire where everybody's, what are you going to find when you're alone in the woods here? There could be a sense that you've been surrounded by work, surrounded by people, avoiding trying to be alone. But I think for some of you, you really actually want that time and you're looking forward to that time alone to sort of reboot and recharge. But for others, it's about an avoidance, avoiding being alone because you don't know, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see the next step. What's at issue here? 7 of Wands. Oh, you are not carving out time for yourself in your dreams here. This is not defending yourself, not defending your intuition, not carving out time for you to defend, letting other people overwhelm you with their expectations and their needs, right? This is, in the upright, you'd be like, no, this is my hill and I'm gonna die on it. I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna fight for my space here. I'm gonna be territorial. I'm gonna fight for your space. This looks like you've had no personal space, and looking at the rest of this reading, there's not been a lot of personal space or an ability to, there's like something you believe in, but you're not fighting for it. You're not defending it. You're just like, I want that, but if that's not going to work for everybody else, then I guess I won't. So there might be a sense of not fighting for what you believe in, not fighting for what you want, not believing enough in what you want in order to fight for it, in order to go after it, or in order to defend. You haven't been defending your stance. Or maybe you're feeling really defenseless. And you haven't been defending like your right to, you know, go back to your charging station and recharge. Been letting like possibly other people, like there's a lot of people. We've got 3 of Coins, we've got 3 of Cups. There's just group activities and people. There's a lot of people here. And this is, and they may be, oh, it's 7 of Wands, okay. But there's 6 wands here and there's 6 people here. There's 6 wands here that are telling you what to do, where to go, how to be, that you don't have a right, that this isn't your, you don't have a right to do this, you don't have a right for your space, for your vision. So you've got like 6 naysayers here. You've got 6 people here. So it just is like not having good boundaries, really. Somebody here just hasn't had good boundaries. There's a lot going on in work and friends, and there's just not a good boundary here. Like this one has you kind of wanting to seek out your own true light, your own true path. And this has you just not defending your space, not doing that, not like, even if you did find this, even if you knew what your next step was, would you still like listen to what other people are telling you to do? This is what this card is, listening to what other people are telling you to do. And this is a card of saying, wanting to go off by yourself and figure out what you want to do by yourself. So you're listening to other people, doing what they want you to do. There's a kind of some poor boundaries here. In your environment, 3 of Wands. This is funny. It's like you don't believe in yourself here. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you deserve to be on that hill. You don't believe that that's your space. You're not taking ownership of that. But yet there's something here in your environment that is a cause for great faith. Maybe somebody else has a lot more faith in you than you have, but there is like a reason to believe something. This is an external. There's something here. And this deck in particular depicts this guy actually seeing the ship come in. Normally we get this picture. We get the guy out here. He knows his ship is coming in. He knows it. But here he can visualize it. He can see it. He can see it coming. And he has a lot of faith in it. Here he doesn't need the faith because he can literally see it. Normally, this card is depicted like this, where we need the faith. We see it, but nobody else around us sees it. So we need that. We are having the faith. But there's like some sort of ship coming in that you knew would come in, that you can see. Maybe other people can't see it. And you're like, you should be like, no, this one's real. This is real. It's coming. And all these people are like, no, it's not. Get down from there. You're an idiot. And this is like, well, it is actually coming, right? You're this guy standing up and you should be able to see it, but everyone's telling you you're not seeing it. And you're like, I swear I am. It's here. It's in my environment and I can see it coming, right? You're waiting because you know something's coming, right? Everyone else might be stagnant energy. Why are you still doing this? It's dead. This dream is dead and buried. And you're like, you can see it, but you're not defending it. You're not defending what you see. You're not, and maybe that's wise. Maybe that's just like, you know what? People are going to think what they want to think. You don't have to participate in every argument you're invited to. You can just walk away. You don't have to defend it. But there's something in your environment that's giving you reason for faith here. I find it interesting too. We have 3 of coins, 3 of cups, and 3 of wands. Good thing we don't have 3 of swords, because that's heartbreak. We don't have that one. We have these 3, and we have the 9 here. So there's a little bit of numerology going on here. We have the 9 is the Hermit card. So 3 of wands, immense faith. 3 of coins, work projects. 3 of cups, friendships, hanging out with people. The Hermit card, though, it's like, you gotta go, you gotta do this. This is a Hermit card here. Oh my goodness. And then look where we're going. Look what your to-do list is. Your to-do list is death, right? For the purpose of resurrection. The ending for the purpose of the new beginning. The acceptance of an ending of something. You're supposed to end something. This is a major arcana, so I'm not saying... So it can go from 1 to 10 here, but it could be a little bit of a bigger thing. You can't begin a new chapter without ending this last one. You have help, you have assistance, you have gentleness here. You can do this very gently. But there's a sense of needing to end something, right? Especially if you have crap boundaries. You might have to put some boundaries up and end something. And we have this death for the purpose of resurrection. That's what it keeps saying. You have hope in something, but you've got to end something. Either some way that you've been doing this. This is an ending. I want to say it's a biggish ending. It's a biggish ending. It's not a little ending. It could feel like an ending. You could have to be ending the way you're doing something, especially if you have bad boundaries. But you have a reason to believe in this resurrection. You have a very strong reason in your environment. You're looking at it. You have a reason to believe in a resurrection. But there has to be an ending, right? Before the resurrection. We have to be buried before we can resurrect. That's just the rules. And there's a lot of hope here. I'm seeing like words and speaking. We have the throat chakra, the speaking chakra represented here. And we have this angel with her lips, right? Ushering out the last gasp, the last breath of something. Something has to end. That's your to-do list. I think you're looking for an opportunity for that, right? Because we do have bloom. And we have this lily here, ready to bloom. We have something here that's ready to come in, but something here has to come to an end. And I'm not sure this is like ending something while you can see the new beginning. You can see the new beginning from your back porch. You can see it right now. And so, it doesn't actually take much faith to end this and believe in this new beginning. But this too is talking to me about this, that, the death is the threshold card. We leave, we go from inside to outside. We have to leave inside in order to go outside, right? And this is, to me, that connection, that sort of psychic connection here, or intuitive connection to the world around us. This is in death and in life, and this rebirth. The connection doesn't end in either situation. And then where you're going, possible outcome, King of Wands. This could be you, or this could be someone you're meeting. This is male or female. This is someone who is highly intuitive and leads from intuition. This is someone who is almost magic. We have the little salamander here, which was considered a magical creature that could come back to life, that could resurrect. There's a sense of connection. This King of Wands, there's this fire here. There's a sense of being able to withstand the fire, and the fire would you'd burn a log. Well, this is from this olden legends of tarot, right? So the salamander represents resurrection and magic, and the magic of resurrection. The salamander's right here on his throne with him. And there's fire. Because burning a log, it was like these salamanders, which would be dormant, would suddenly come out of these logs and seem to be walking on coals, and seem to be what seemed dead is actually quite alive and scurrying around and running. So this King of Wands, king denoting mastery, mastery of intuition, and also leadership. So, and leading from a place of intuition, of passion, and passionate leadership, creative leadership, leading from a position of passion and creativity. Maybe even becoming a leader in a creative field, or just leading in whatever field you're in, and doing so from a sense of passion and creativity. So, so resurrecting from this death, coming back to life, not as just another person, another entity, but as a master. Well, this could be someone that you're meeting that's going to be important to you or have some influence on you. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, Virgo. I'm all tied up in my nervous little bracelet here. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments.